I think the reason that most hires fail, and I learned this back in the corporate world, is because we don't have a broad enough array of people to choose from. It's kind of like dating. The reason people get into bad marriages is because they didn't have enough options to begin with. And so in hiring, entrepreneurs will hire the first person that can fog a mirror, the first person that they like, and those aren't great criteria for hiring. I think as an entrepreneur, you eventually come to the place where you realize you need a team. And in fact, I would say if your dream doesn't require a team, your dream is too small.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. So once you decide that you're willing to have a team, you've got a choice. You can do what Jim Collins talks about in Good to Great, which he says there's two kinds of leaders. There's the leader that's the genius with 1,000 helpers.
Right.
Or you can decide to deploy people so that they're bringing to the table the best and highest use of them, so that it frees you up to do the best and highest use of you. And so that's the model I've tried to follow.
Okay.
So in our hiring process, whenever we identify a new teammate, we're asking ourselves the question, first of all, we want a large sampling. I think the reason that most hires fail, and I learned this back in the corporate world, is because we don't have a broad enough array of people to choose from. It's kind of like dating. The reason people get into bad marriages is because they didn't have enough options to begin with. And so in hiring, entrepreneurs will hire the first person that can fog a mirror, the first person that they like, and those aren't great criteria for hiring. So we said, let's approach this like we do marketing. So let's create a sales page that's designed to convince prospective employees that we would be an awesome company to work with. So they already come with sort of the pre-framing, predisposed to buy into our company. So we don't have to do the selling. We can do the evaluating, but we put them in the mode of excited about working for us. So people can see our page at michaelhyatt.com/careers. That's our sales page, and that's how we think of it. It sells prospective employees on us. Whenever we have an open position, we start with a job description. If you don't have clarity about what you're looking for, it's going to be hard to recognize the right person when they show up. So we get crystal clear among our team as to exactly what qualifications, what kind of experience, and something we have called the Freedom Compass. What are the tasks that are in their desire zone, the things where they have passion and proficiency? Do those map to the job description? So it starts with the job description. Then we go out and promote it using our email list, using social media, because we figure that the people that are already in our tribe are already people that get us in terms of our philosophy, our key frameworks, our core values, all that stuff. We'd rather not have to convert somebody or convince somebody that stuff. We'd like to have that sort of pre-baked in when they show up.
Right.
So then they enter into the process, the interview process. We use an automated system, which I can't remember the name of right now, but basically it requires people to do a short video where they answer some questions so that we don't have to schedule, like typically, and I know this for a fact, our typical, we'll typically have 81 applicants for any position that we open up. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes more, sometimes less, but we can't interview that many people. So we try to automate as much of that as we can. Then in the final interview process, then we're going to have real, human to human interview process. And it's multiple interviews. We use a tool. I don't know if you're familiar with the Kolbe test. So that's been the single biggest predictor of success for us with new hires. And we use Kolbe's Right Fit program.
Okay.
Where they test the hiring manager and they test the person that's the prospective employee, and they make sure that there's a right fit. And when we've gone against that, we've typically failed. And when we follow it, we typically succeed. Again, it's the biggest predictor of success for us. People can find out more at Kolbe.com, Kolbe.com. But we've had 3 of our teammates certified in that system, and we really believe in it.